Thank you. Thank you. You're too kind. We're supposed to wear 80s outfits today, and I didn't bring one, so let me strap my 80s costume on. This session's called VS Code Can Do That. Today we're going to look at some of the things that you might not know about Visual Studio Code, and this is the Angular edition of this talk, so I've tailored it just for you fine Angular folks here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, before we do that, I'd like to take you back really quickly to 2012. The year is 2012. The number one song on the radio is a song called Rolling in the Deep by Adele. Barack Obama is president. Easy, easy, easy. Okay. And that same year, Microsoft puts out a small press release that nobody reads. And that press release says that they've hired a gentleman named Eric Gamma from IBM, and he set up a new office in Zurich, Switzerland. Eclipse. I heard it. The same person who invented Eclipse has also given us VS Code, and that, my friends, is called redemption. All right. Now, the other thing that I would like to tell you is that there is something that you can do inside of Visual Studio Code called font ligatures. Now, if Fear Code is working, that's just a font, not that impressive, but check this out. If we come back to the artist component, and let's take a look at something like, if we were to look at this little arrow right here. Now, instead of a double arrow, we have an actual double arrow, an actual fat arrow. So what it does is it takes multiple symbols that we use to specify one symbol, and it makes those into one. So for instance, you could have something like an equals equals, and you get an equals equals. Or even better, equals equals equals, and you get an actual triple equals. Yes, it's okay. You can give it up for the triple equals. Another thing that I'd like to talk to you about is emit. So let's open up the artist component here. And I'm just going to go to the, I'll tell you what, let's do a different one. Let's do player component, HTML. And in here, we can use emit to create markup very quickly. So for instance, we could do something like this. And this will give us a bootstrap navbar. You can just come to the end of the line here, hit space, Command-Shift-P, say update image size, and boom, Visual Studio Code will do it for you. You don't even have to do it yourself. Check that out. Even more interesting, check this out. Let's start over again here. This works for remote images as well. Boom. First of all, I want to talk about something called Prettier. Now, Prettier is an extension that you can get from the gallery, the extension gallery, and what it's going to do for you is it's going to automatically format your code. Don't save. You also get the, let's go to the artist file, Angular language service. Control space. VS Code goes out to NPM, and it automatically tells you what the latest version of this package is. So in this case, for this project, we want to Dockerize this thing. Well, how do we do that? Well, we have the Docker extension installed for Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to open this sidebar so you can see this thing work here. So we're just going to do Command-Shift-P, and we're going to say Docker, add Docker files to workspace file. I'm just going to remove this and put in a more simple Docker file that I've had here. This just, all it's doing is pulling in our build folder, adding in the simple node HTTP server, and creating a container. That's it. Thank you so much for coming.